correcting such killing acts. The Casual Killing Act was written because of the number of people who were killed while being corrected. Okay. And if any slave resists his master, owner, or other person by his or her order correcting such slave and shall happen to be killed in such correction, it shall not be counted felony, but the master, owner, and every other person so giving correction shall be acquitted of all punishment and accusation for the same, as if such accident had never happened. So that means that if you happen to be correcting someone and you beat them to death, you know how hard it is to beat someone to death? I mean, I thought about that. I said it happened so frequently that they created a law so that you wouldn't feel any what? No guilt, because you were simply correcting them. Wasn't your fault. So I went back to look at who was beating folks to death. I wanted to know. And it was white women. White women were beating black children to death. That's who was being beaten. Killed. But it wasn't her fault. She was just correcting them. You see, what we do is we rob ourselves of our own humanity when we refuse to look at this stuff. We rob ourselves of our humanity. And that's what people didn't know happened. Going forward, one more. Then you had the mental health folks. This is how we got in. We got in to try to fix it. In the early years of the 19th century, a physician named Samuel A. Cartwright argued that two particular forms of mental illness caused by nerve disorders were prevalent among slaves. One was drapetomania, which was diagnosable by a single symptom: the uncontrollable urge to escape from slavery. So now what we've done is we've now pathologized your desire to be free. Must be something wrong with them. Keep trying to free themselves. And again, it would be funny if see, all of this is to remove the cognitive dissonance. Now we have, look at all the people joining in. You got Linnaeus, you got anthropology, you got physicians. All of them saying they deserve it. It's not us. We don't need to adjust anything. And if they just tried harder, how about you people just pull yourselves up from your bootstraps? What's the matter with you? The playing field has been leveled. Well, we're going to see if, in fact, it's been leveled. Or is that conjecture?
This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21, and it reads, it says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt make thee drunken, and shalt make thyself naked." Verse 22, "The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins." All right. Shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring, the house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. All right, and what was being discussed here in the beginning of this video was the Casual Killing Act of 1669, all right, which is still in effect today, all right? It says here, and we're going to come back to this article, but in the headline it says, "A look at the Casual Killing Act of 1669 that made it legal to kill a slave at will," all right? And these are all the unjust decrees, you know, that Esau has set up against you Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics, which is still in effect to this very day. All right, because all this all goes back to the perpetual hatred that Esau has for you tribes. Matter of fact, let's get that too. All right, just to show you that this man is the complete devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, and this hatred is deep. Ezekiel 35 verse 5, it says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred." All right, this hatred that Esau has for Jacob, for Israel, goes back to the womb. All right, the time of Genesis, you know, when Jacob took the birthright. Esau said in his heart that he would slay his brother Jacob, and that has continued to this very day. All right? It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their calamity, Salaki, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, power, Yahweh Shem El Shai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee, right? And that's what's going to happen to Esau, all right? That's the Lord's vengeance, all right? Blood has to pursue him. Verse 7, it says, then I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth, right? So Mount Seir, which can be tied to Babylon, America, eventually is going to be made completely desolate through destruction. All right, nuclear destruction, man. All right, but back to the point here. And like I said, we're going to come back to this article as well. All right, but some more information on the Casual Killing Act of 1669. Okay, this is from calendar.eji.org. It says, colonial Virginia authorizes enslavers to kill enslaved people who resisted. All right, so there was laws that were put in effect to kill any slave, all right, which was you Jakes, that resisted the will of the slave master, all right? Sounds familiar, right? So it says, read on a little bit. It says, on October 20th, 1669, the Virginia Colonial Assembly enacted a law that removed criminal penalties for enslavers who killed enslaved people resisting authority. All right, a common thing that we see to this very day, dealing with these cops. All right, and the excuse is they resisted. That's why they beat the shit out of Jake, and they tell him what, stop resisting. All right, here it is. Jake is in handcuffs and in a damn coma. Don't even know what the hell's going on. They beating the shit out of him, telling him to stop resisting. Right? So it says, a law that removed criminal penalties for enslavers who killed enslaved people resisting authority. The assembly justified the law on the grounds that, quote, the abstinency of many enslaved people cannot be suppressed by other than violent means. Exactly. So the only way to suppress a slave, it has to be by violence. Okay, and we're gonna get more into that. It says the law provided that an enslaver's killing of an enslaved person could not constitute murder because the, quote, premeditated malice element of murder could not be formed against one own's property, right? Because, you know, you weren't considered a, you know, Jake wasn't considered a person, all right? You were considered property. So if the slave master, you know, murdered you, right, it wouldn't count as murder because you were part of his property. You were an object. See, you weren't officially a person, right? It says in subsequent years, Virginia continued to reduce legal protections for enslaved people. In 1723, the Assembly removed all penalties for the killing of enslaved people during, quote, correction, meaning that an enslaved person could be killed for an offense as minor as picking bad tobacco. The willful or malicious killing of an enslaved person could constitute murder in theory, but the law excused the killing of an enslaved person if the killing was in any way provoked, right? And this is the same shit on how cops get away with murder, cold-blooded murder on camera. In effect, enslavers could kill enslaved people with impunity in the colonial era, Virginia, and the situation was similar in most colonial territories. And this is what we're gonna get into. We're gonna come back to this, right? But this is what Trump is fighting for, all right? You niggas out there crying for Trump and, you know, caught up in this whole voting scam, all of this bullshit. All right, we're gonna come back to this article, but it says Trump promises to give police immunity from prosecution, all right? Does this sound familiar? All right? It says, following the American Revolution, many states created penalties for killing enslaved people, but the loophole, right? But the loophole permitting the killing of an enslaved person during quote unquote correction or to prevent resistance remained. And as a result, throughout the course of slavery in this country's history, enslavers were rarely punished for killing enslaved people, all right? And it hasn't changed, all right? Let's grab a scripture real quick, okay? This is Zechariah 11:5, and it reads, it says, who possessors slay them? Who are the possessors? The Edomites, all right? Who do they possess? You Israelites, you Jakes, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics. All right, you're still in captivity, you're still in slavery. Whose possessors slay them, all right? You Jakes are the ones that are being slayed. Who possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, right? Going back to what? The Casual Killing Act, all right? They were able to slay you tribes, all right, and not be held guilty, okay? He's created laws, all right, that exempt him from judgment. You see? Whose possessors slay them, Zechariah 11:5, who possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they shall sell them, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, for I am rich, right? Because you were the ones that Esau was selling in slavery, and this is how they got rich, all right? It says, and their own shepherds pity them not, right? Because these figureheads that they put in front of Jake, you know, the Martin Luther Kings, the Al Sharptons, Malcolm X, you know, these figureheads, you know, they're sellouts. They're in Esau's back pocket, all right? They don't truly pity our people. They were set up to keep you pacified, to keep you, you know, trusting in Edomite supremacy, basically. All right, so any of these niggas that they put in front of you on the TV are not for you, right? Your own shepherds pity you not, right? So back to the point, let's read some more in this article here, and this next one, all right? And look at the Casual Killing Act of 1669 that made it legal to kill a slave at will. So let's read some more, all right? So it says, what escapes many people is that the whimsical killing of enslaved blacks in the U.S. during slavery, even after by white folks without punitive consequences based on laws passed by white politicians who happen to be plantation owners as well, right? One such devious law is the Casual Killing Act of 1669, which declared it legal to kill a slave while correcting because malice could not be presumed. The casual killing of slaves, quote unquote, says that if a slave dies while resisting his master, the act will not be presumed to have occurred with prepense malice, right? It says the men of the General Assembly of Virginia completely removed the penalty for those who by chance murdered a slave in the process of punishment, as the black laborer was deemed to be property, you see? All right, you weren't considered a person, all right? You didn't count. Remember, your life doesn't matter. Black lives don't matter, right? Other slave laws passed in Virginia showed the disregard for human life and how different chattel slavery in the U.S. was to other forms of slavery practiced in continental Africa. By 1672, it became legal to wound or kill an enslaved person who resists arrest. Legislators also deemed that the owner of any slave, as he resisted arrest, would receive financial compensation for the loss of an enslaved laborer. Legislators also offer a reward to Indians who capture and escape slaves and return them to justice of the peace. All right, let me get a quick scripture. All right, you know, this is how he creates those unjust decrees. All right, Isaiah 10. Isaiah 10:1, and it reads, it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed, which goes back to this Casual Killing Act of 1669. This is an unrighteous decree against you Israelites. All right, laws that exempt him from punishment. All right, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people. Right, the poor of my people, you Israelites, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And this is what Esau did, man, by the way of these wicked laws and decrees, as we're reading, right? So it says, read it on here. It says, earlier in 1639, 1640, the General Assembly of Virginia specifically excludes blacks from the requirement of possessing arms. And crucially, in 1662, blacks faced the possibility of life servitude. The General Assembly of Virginia decided that any child born to an enslaved woman would also be a slave, right? There were slave laws that further restricted the freedom of blacks and legalized different treatment for blacks and whites, all right? And the rest reads on, all right? So you can read the rest on your own, but we'll get back to the point. Is that, you know, the Edomite is the devil, man, that the Bible speaks of. All right, let's grab some more scriptures. This is Psalms 94, verse 1. The Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, implored to avenge his people, right? Psalms 94, verse 1, and it reads, it says, O Lord, power, Yahweh Shemel Shai, to whom vengeance belongeth, O power, to whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself. Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, render a reward to the proud, all right? And the Lord is going to do that. The proud representing you Edomites, all right? The wicked. Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, how long shall the wicked triumph, right? How long shall they remain in power? How long shall they be on top? How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? And this is what we were reading in this article, right? The Casual Killing Act of 1669, all right? The different laws to, exalt, the Edomites and, reduce, the so-called blacks, you Jakes, to keep you at the bottom, to keep you as slaves, the penalties for resisting the slave master, the laws that they put in place to legally kill you. It says, they break in pieces, Psalms 94 and 5, they break in pieces thy people, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and afflict thy heritage. And this is all part of the history, all right? They break in pieces thy people, O Lord, and afflict thy heritage. They slay the widow and the stranger and murder the fatherless. This is what we're reading in this Casual Killing Act, man. In the wicked laws that were put in place to murder Jake without any consequences, man. All right, these Edomites are going to pay dearly. It says, yet they say, verse 7, yet they say the Lord, excuse me, yet they say the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, shall not see, neither shall the power of Jacob regard it. Right. This was in the past. Let bygones be bygones. We had nothing to do with it. That wasn't me. You know how these Edomites are. But really it was you, because you are your forefathers coming back. That's why the scriptures say in Isaiah 14 that, matter of fact, let me get that. All right, Isaiah 14. All right, you Edomites still gonna pay. All right, this is Isaiah 14. All right, Isaiah 14 and 21, and it reads, it says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities, right? So you Edomites, you devils are going to pay for the iniquities of your forefathers, because you are your forefathers coming back, right? For I will rise up against them, excuse me, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and the nephew, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and I will make it And I will also make it a possession for the bitter in pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shah of hosts, because the Lord is going to completely destroy Babylon, all right, as a result, as vengeance, right? Let's go back and read, all right, where were we at? Back in Psalms 94, all right? Same chapter, okay? Jumping down. Psalms 94 in verse 20, it says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law. That's the Edomite. This is what they do. They frame mischief by a law. Going back to these wicked laws and decrees, this casual killing act, all right, making it illegal to murder Jake without any type of punishment, all right? Jake was considered a slave, not a human being, an object, property of the slave master, all right? The same thing that we see today, all right? It says they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. See? And this is how Esau does it. But the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, our power shall cut them off. Right, because Esau's time is up. And he's going to give account of all of these crimes that he did against the Lord's people. Ecclesiastes 3:15, right? That which has been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And Yahweh Shem Shah requireth that which is past. You see that? So the Lord, he requires which is past. All right, everything that we could read here in this article, man. Okay? These devils are going to pay severely, man. You see that? But jumping into this article, I want to bring this out, just, you know, showing you the parallels of what happened then and what still continue to happen now. Okay, this is from, this came out back in, looks like, what, March or April? Back in 2024, 5/3/2024. So it says, the headline reads, it says, Trump promises to give police immunity from prosecution. It says the pledge, while mostly legally illiterate, offers a reminder of the former president's outlook on government accountability. All right, so he's looking to make sure that these police have immunity, meaning they can't get charged for anything that they do. Same shit that was going on back then. You see? It says, just reading a little bit here, it says former President Donald Trump this week made his way to Wisconsin, a battleground state crucial to both his 2016 win and 2020 loss. The stakes, in other words, are high, so he made a few big promises to match. One such promise, we're going to give our people their power back, right? I'm sorry. It says one such promise, quote, we're going to give our police their power back, right? He told rallygoers in Waukesha, it says, and we are going to give them immunity from prosecution. This is what he said. Between police and prosecutors, law enforcement officers are arguably already the most powerful people in government. So it's unclear what Trump means by giving them, quote, their power back. His second promise, though, immunity from prosecution, is more concrete and a reminder of the former president's views on government accountability, right? So this is all we need to read, okay? He plans on giving police their power back, quote unquote, all right? So if he gets in office, man, these police are gonna be on a fucking rampage. They're gonna be killing the shit out of Jake, man. You thought it was bad now? It's about to get entirely worse, all right? This is what they mean by make America great again. So we're getting ready to see a whole nother side of these devils, man. You're getting ready to see the true devil as he is, right? James 5:6, you have condemned and killed the just, and he doeth not resist you, right? And this is what Esau has done, because Jake doesn't have a standing army, right? Jake doesn't come against Esau, and this is why he has to pay. You know, this is Psalms This is Psalm 73. All right, Psalm 73 in verse 3 says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm, because Esau is in power." All right, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Going back to, once again, the immunity. Okay, you know, the system. You know, these devils have immunity. They're free. They're free of charge. They're free of punishment, accountability. Why? Because he's in the power seat. Okay, he's in his heaven, right? And Jake is in his hell. Verse 6, "Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment." This is who he is. All right, his identity is violence, death, and destruction. All right. It says, "Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than a heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully, which is proudly." Right? They speak lawfully concerning oppression. All right? You're not a person. You're not a human being, Jake. Your life doesn't matter. Black lives don't matter. Okay? All lives matter. You see? This is the spirit of the Esau, the perpetual hatred, as we talked about. The casual killing act, the laws that are still in effect to this very day. All right? Because while Jake is fucking cooning and crying for Trump, this is what he wants to bring back into effect. Police having complete immunity from prosecution. All right? Also, as I brought out, you know, Trump's plan, this is from the week.com, Trump's plan for a second term reportedly includes firing squads, hangings, and group executions. And all this is geared towards Jake. All right? As we read in this article, right? Let's read that part again. It says, "As Donald Trump's re-election bid begins to pick up steam in the new year, details about the former president's plans for his return to the White House have begun to emerge, including a new report for Rolling Stone, which alleges Trump has begun polling his advisors on whether he should bring back firing squads, hangings, and even the guillotine should he win in 2024. Right? It says, according to two sources, the former president has even begun exploring the possibility of group executions, with the third person claiming Trump has expressed interest in a government ad campaign to highlight the administration's lethality, and per Rolling Stone's source, quote, "help put the fear of God into violent criminals." All right, and who are considered the violent criminals in this society. A Trump campaign spokesperson denied the former president had plans for an execution ad campaign in the statement to Rolling Stone. It says Trump's fascination with the death penalty has been long on public display, stretching back to his call to execute the Central Park five young Black and Latino men accused of rape and assault in the late 1980s. All were later exonerated, right? Because that was a whole setup, right? They never raped that woman, right? But Trump was ready to execute those so-called Black and Latino men. All right, so you Jakes know what time it is. It says, as Rolling Stone has previously reported, Trump has ended his first term by executing more than 4 times as many convicted persons in his final 6 months in office as the federal government had killed in the total over the prior half a century. All right, so you already know, man. All right, all eyes on Jake. Okay, but this is the wicked, and he's ready to roll, pursuing the Revelation 12 and 12, man. All right, so that spirit has always been there, and it hasn't changed. Is the point of me doing this quick lesson. All right, let's get real quick. Let's get Psalm 17 and verse 13. It reads, it says, we'll start up a little bit. All right, this is Psalm 17 and verse 9. It says, "From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about, they are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, all right? The wicked, the Edomite, who's the sword, the left hand of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You see? He has his eyes on Jake, man, to get rid of Jake. You see? The sword of the Most High, and the Lord ultimately pursuing the Isaiah, right? Just thinking out loud, Isaiah 10:5, O Assyrian, because Esau is the modern day Assyrian. O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation, the Lord's indignation, right? I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them like the mire in the streets, right? So this is what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has done. He's given Esau that charge, and he's going to allow Esau to start slaying, okay, these 2/3 so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics, you know. But this is who he is the point, man. All right, the parallels from now and from then, man. You know, so let's finish this out. You know, just wanted to put that out there, man. This man is the devil, right?
Move forward. Now I want you to look at this photo very closely. I want you to see who's in it. More important than the man hanging, because you got to understand the lynchings that occurred in America happened after slavery, not during. Thousands of lynchings happened after slavery, because this is a reaction to fear of what we would do once freed. But we didn't create a vigilante group to take out white people. But they did create a vigilante group to take us out now that we're free. See, that happened after slavery. They were called the what? The Ku Klux Klan. They don't wear hoods anymore. They wear suits.
Man, you know, so we'll leave it like that, man. You know, you get it. You know, he is the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? So I pray that this quick lesson was informative.
Hoods anymore. They wear suits.
Man, you know, so we'll leave it like that, man. You know, you get it. You know, he is the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? So I pray that this quick lesson was informative and also edifying, all right? That perpetual hatred is still upon him this very day. So I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakakodash, and Shalom.